Welcome to my completely unbiased and 100% real review of Carpat. On a more serious note, I want to address some of the things I said about Rio. I said didn't really have a lot of secrets, but I played through and I found some key cards, and believe it or not, there are some secrets. That doesn't significantly rise up how I initially felt about it, because these are like initial feelings, and you'll see that here actually a lot because I did not put in as much time as I think you need to in some of these maps. Especially with this one, there's like some insane dead zones and stuff that I think if I were to delve into and like commit some time to, which I'm going to, and actually in my final review it's going to be longer and I'm going to voice some opinions because I'm just playing the shit out of this game. But yeah, let's move on to the review, and I want to start everything out by just saying this review is going to be a much lower score because everything felt, I don't know, mediocre. Like, it felt like they're going for a theme. It felt like it was meant to be harder to survive, and they achieved that. But there were so many holes in the map. Vehicle spawns didn't work half the time, as you're seeing. That's almost perfect timing. But just a lot of these little things that added up. I think if I was playing with a party or some friends, I would have had a different experience, and maybe they could have put me onto some of the secrets of this map. I felt it was a well enough in-depth map, but I'll get into all that more so. That's just why I initially wanted to say is that there's a lot of holes in the map, and there's some other things that I had some glitchy experiences. Like, I had trouble booting up the map, but that might be a like client-side issue, so I'm not going to say anything about that. But I had a lot of issues when it came to this map, and that just kind of shaped my opinion about it. On to what Mini may, at least what I've gotten comments about. Sound design, how I experience games. I like the sound design of this map. There were some unique sounds I heard that I enjoyed, and it lent itself to the experience. It did not improve my overall experience just because the map was pretty, I don't want to say drowsy. Well, actually, drowsy might be a word. I think I was going for drizzly, but it wasn't really rainy. But the map did feel, I guess sleepy can be a descriptor. Like, it felt like it needed to be more alive. And I did all my usual stuff to try to improve my experience. I put on some YouTube, I watched some video essays, I listened to some music. It just, the sound design, while better than what we've experienced in the past, can't really redeem the map itself. And like my just initial, I've never played this map before. I think from here on out with the curated maps, they came out after I stopped playing, so it was entirely new to me, and that didn't make it any better because it was still, a map wants to lend itself to having a good first experience, because that's meaningful, that'll put the taste in my mouth of how the map will always be. And there's one thing I never let sour the taste in my mouth with maps, and that's dying. And I sure did a lot of that, so I don't want anyone to think that like my map reviews are proportional to the times I died, because no, I it's not really something I care about. I play the game just for initial impressions on camera, and then I'm, going hard into surviving off camera, which I have some on this map since, but even a couple hours in, I've yet to experience like that hook where I'm like, okay, this is why I'm gonna keep playing this map. Right now, my only goal is to get to like the dead zone in the upper left-hand corner. I would say let's get into UI next, but there's not a whole lot to talk about. There are some new recipes, and I love to see that. I love to see unique recipes, unique items with each map. In this game, I think did have some unique guns and stuff, and that always lends itself to a higher score. But let's talk about the map itself instead of droning on about stuff I've barely gone into at this time. The map. I like how it's laid out. It made me feel like I'm gonna have to survive, and that was one of the things they more explicitly stated in the little curated description, was that the map is going to be survival oriented, and I feel like it executed on that, and that is something I can give it major props for, is the fact I felt like I had to fight to survive, or I had to be in combat, or I couldn't just buckle up and stay in one house. I was not given anything on a platter. I had to go looking for it. Half the locations didn't have enough. And the fact that I was limited to essentially 2 towns, minimal loot, and then outside of those towns, each location had a thing. Like, there's some garages that had that stuff. There's some factories that had some foodstuffs. Outside of cities, which cities were pretty dangerous with the amount of zombies. I think they would have been way more dangerous if I had a gun. Outside of cities, each location only offers you one thing. So you have to carry that medication and everything. And I think you get some of that feeling with the other maps, with like, oh, each location offers one type of item. But until a couple of the later maps, I felt that, each location offers a little bit of everything alongside its specialty per se. And I think this map was my first major dive into feeling like I needed to survive. And since that's what it described itself as, like a challenge for experienced survivors, that, it achieved what it wanted to achieve. And it was clear that that was what it wanted to achieve. It didn't make it feel like, oh, this is happening to me randomly. And that's pretty good. On to the actual world design, not really talking about the map layout or having to go things. I felt all buildings felt unique enough when compared to base game maps that they made themselves distinct. Same with the interiors, and that's a really good thing. I felt, I don't want to say it felt like a post-Soviet town, but it gave the Soviet town vibes. Everything's a little bit drizzly, everything looked a little bit beat up, drab colors, and the entire world kind of lent itself to that. Interiors weren't that bad. The issue wasn't exteriors. The roads weren't very good. I think you're about to see that, right now. And then also, the holes in the map. I have found at least, 50. That's a big number, but I'm gonna stick by my guns. I've found 50 holes in the map. I've been jumped by random unkillable bears twice. The first time you'll see in the end of this review, and the second and third time, I had guns. I mag dumped them. I could not kill them. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I've started playing a harder difficulty than when I review. But still, it's been a little bit awful. I've really been trying my best with these maps, play-wise, so I don't, have that biased into it at all. And I think when comparing it to the other maps, their buildings and their quality, it has a decline in quality when compared. It has a substantial lower quality when it comes to some of the stuff. That, yeah, it's still better than a modded map. It's still a curated map, and you can see that. It just has a little bit less quality than what I've experienced from the other curated maps. So I thought that should be made plain when it comes into the review. And going into the final review, overall, it's an unturned map. So if we're talking about it's the base game, it has to have a 6 or 7. When compared to other maps, it's a 3 or a 4. We're getting down there. It did not, there was just so many little problems, and even now, 3, 4, 5 hours in, I've yet to hit my stride, so that's why I have to give it that lower review. And on that note, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or whenever you're watching this. Hope you guys come back for more. If not, I hope you enjoyed your time here. Hope to see you guys again next time. If not, that's alright. You know, I'm gonna say it every damn time. You guys are gonna listen to it every damn time if you've made it this far in the video. Y'all mean the world to me. Having an audience in general, it can't be stated enough times. I don't think I'll ever state enough times. Maybe someday I'll get used to it, but honestly I hope not. Because it's very like endorphin releasing to have so many of you guys watching this, to have watched those videos even hitting triple digits now. That's crazy. Honestly, you guys are awesome, and it means the world to me. And so yeah, that's why I wish you guys the best every single time. That will not stop unless I like hit my head and have a TBI and then forget.